other states tap lottery revenues to support their rail service. And so the governor, according to Nicholson, is really looking at all the options of how to fund the passenger service, specifically the operating subsidy. So again, he hasn't said no. He is a tough negotiator, but he's looking at all options, looking at all considerations, seeing what other states are doing, gathering information about the subject. If you have information or any suggestions or creative solutions, I think now is a great time to get those in, so our governor can make the very best decision. If we do need to participate, let's participate and make our voices heard. I think it's great that we have a governor that's willing to listen and consider. Okay. This is another article. This is from the Des Moines Register. We just talked about roads and wear and tear on the roads. This is on the front page of the Register, and I'll show it on the camera. Counties struggle to maintain roads. This is basically dealing with roads in the rural regions. A little-used Washington County road that passes through the unincorporated town of Haskins in eastern Iowa may signal the future for parts of Iowa's 114,000-mile road system, one of the longest in the nation. The seal-coated blacktop pavement is gradually being allowed to return to a gravel road. As the road crumbles, crews fill in the potholes with crushed rock. It's an acknowledgement that money for repairing Iowa roads is limited, and the best days for tiny Haskins, which has 31 residents, are likely seen from a rearview mirror. Maintenance has lagged as revenues from gasoline and diesel taxes have flattened and road construction costs have soared. Okay, so let's see. The situation is developing into a crisis that is generating bipartisan political pressure to raise Iowa's gasoline and diesel fuel taxes up to 10 cents per gallon, perhaps as soon as next year. The Iowa legislature is expected to debate proposals in 2012 to raise the state's gasoline and diesel fuel taxes. Highway lobbyists would like to press for approval this year, but the issue will likely be deferred this session while the state leaders grapple with an overall state budget which affects education, healthcare, public safety, and environment. Ed Fallon of Des Moines, a former Democratic state legislator and now a radio talk show host, contends the politically well-connected and influential Iowa road lobby, which includes highway construction contractors, local government officials, and economic development leaders, drives the disparity. And he's talking about the disparity of the extensive road system in Iowa compared to the smaller population in comparison to the other states. Quote, "We have a very powerful collective of interest groups in Iowa known as the Road Lobby, who are used to coming to taxpayers with an open hand and getting whatever they want, even if it doesn't make sense in terms of the overall transportation infrastructure," end quote. Quote again. "I would like to see them prioritizing the investments that we have," and that's according to Fallon. Fallon also suggests that Iowa put more emphasis on transportation alternatives, including public transit, passenger railroads, bicycling, and walking. All right, that's that take. A little bit more, but while traffic is lighter in the rural regions, farm trucks and agricultural machinery are bigger and heavier, and Iowa's farm economy and hopes for growing its renewable energy industry still require a sound rural road system, economic experts say. An Iowa State University study last April cautioned that the large trucks serving ethanol and biodiesel plants and the wind farm industry still need good rural roads. And so this makes decision-making very difficult. We do have a sizable agricultural and renewable energy industry here in the state of Iowa. We're number one for biofuels. We're number two for wind. And then we have a sizable agricultural industry. So our rural roads are affected when we have to move heavy equipment and machinery to get to their destination. And then also we have the need for sustainable transportation options. So, gosh, I'm glad I'm not the governor. Good luck, but hopefully the best decision will be made to affect everyone. I don't know what the best decision is, to tell the truth, but I'm hoping the right thing, hence do the right thing, the top of the show will be done. Okay, so we also have an article. It's called Communities Should Develop Smart Plans, and this is from the Des Moines Register online, and it's also undated, but I did access it, let's see, Friday, January 28th. All right, so let's put it back on me. The Register's January 22nd article, Iowa Must Change with the Climate, urged state lawmakers to take appropriate steps through sound, comprehensive planning and land development regulations to see that future development does not occur in flood-prone areas, which is a significant issue in the state of Iowa that's been inundated with floods several times the last few years. It's simply sound policy for cities and counties to take the steps within their control to protect human life and public and private property from natural hazards. The Smart Planning Act, the article goes on to say, the act grew from the recognition first articulated in the Rebuild Iowa Advisory Commission's report, and this followed the 2008 floods, that state law needs to provide better guidance to cities and counties about comprehensive land use planning. The Smart Planning Act makes this link between planning and hazard mitigation by specifically encouraging cities and counties to identify in their comprehensive plans steps to mitigate risks posed by natural and man-made hazards. Comprehensive planning has been proven to result in long-term savings to cities and counties in other ways by timing investments in infrastructure, creating more efficient development patterns that allow cities to provide public services at lower costs, and then also promoting attractive communities that draw economic investment and protect private property rights, and by creating predictability in the real estate market. So that article is actually focusing a great deal on the importance of planning and how it affects the way a city grows, and then also safety, livability, quality of life, and then longevity of city structures. All very relevant for the state of Iowa. This is also coming from the Des Moines Register. We're talking about the electric car again. Companies' plans for electric car factory hit bump. Last week, we talked about the electric car. This was a follow-up to a story I read last November about Catalin Tuchinaro and Mike Gabus, their efforts to come up with an electric car to manufacture and distribute in the state of Iowa, and then throughout, to other car selling retail outlets. And then the Des Moines Register expressed reservations about the viability of the project. The Des Moines Business Record follow-up this past January with more information. The Des Moines Register followed up again, and this is what they say. An Iowa company's plans to make electric cars in this state have fizzled after a Webster City factory reached a deal instead with a company focused on selling electric vehicles in the Caribbean. Officials at Envision Motor Company of Ames say they now plan to build its cars outside the state. It's hard to keep up. There's a car factory in Iowa. There's going to be jobs. No, there's not. Yes, there is. She's my sister. She's my daughter. She's my sister. She's my daughter. I don't know.